Scattergods, chapter 3. And they made the altar of the burnt offering of shepherd and wood, 5 cubits with a length thereof, 5 cubits the breadth thereof it was foursquare, and 3 cubits of the height thereof. He made the horns thereof on the four corners of it. The horns thereof were the same, and he overlaid it with brass. He made all the vessels of the altar, and the pots, and the shovels, and the basins, and the fish hooks, and the fire pans, and all the vessels thereof made he of a brass. He made for the altar a brazen grate, on that were all the compass thereof beneath into the midst of it, and he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the gate, and 4 ends of the gate of brass, 2 places for the statuses, and he made the statuses of shipping wood, and overlaid them with brass. He put the statuses into the rings on the sides of the altar to bear it. Behold, he made the altar hollow with boards. He made the lavender of brass, the foot of it brass, and of the looking glasses of the woman assembling, which assembled at the door of the turbulence of the congregation. He made the court on the south side southward. The hanging of the court were of fine twine line, 100 cubits. The pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. And the hooks of the pillars and their sockets were of silver. For the north side, the hanging were 100 cubits. The pillars were 20. The sockets of brass 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the west side were hanging of 50 cubits, and their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And from the eastward, 50 cubits, the hangings of the one side, and the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. For the other side of the court, gated on the hand, and that hand were hangings of 15 cubits, and their pillars 3, and their sockets 3, and all the hangings of the court round about were of fine twine line, and the sockets for the pillars were brass. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver, and the overlaying of the chapters of silver, and all the hangings of the court round about were of fine twine line, and the sockets of the pillars were of brass, and the hooks of the pillars or their fillets of silver, and the overlaying of the chapters of silver, and all the pillars of the court were filled with silver, and the hanging for the gate in the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet fine twine line, and 20 cubits was the length and the height, and the breadth, and was 5 cubits, and to the two hanging of the court. And their pillars were fine, and their sockets of brass for the hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapters, and their fillets of silver. All the pans of the turbulence and of the court round about were brass. This is the sum of the turbulence, even of the turbulence of the testimony, as it was counted according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites by the hand of Ahamelner, son of the Aaron of the priests, and Bezalel, the son of Uriel, the son of Hur, and the tribe of Judah, and made all the Lord command Moses. And with him was Aholadab, and the son of Shelemach, and the tribe of Dan, and and Gaber, and a cunning workman, and bronze and blue, and in purple and scarlet and fine line, and all the gold that was occupied for the work, and all the work for the holy place, even the gold of the offering was 29 talents and 730 shekels, after the scarlet of the sanctuary, and the silver of them that were numbered of the consecration was 100 talents, and 1,703 shekels of 15 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, a beacon for every man. There is half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone that weep to be numbered from 20 years old upward, for 600,000, 3,550 men. And of the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the vow, and 100 sockets of the 100 talents. For a socket, a talent for a socket. And of the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their chapters, and flinted them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made the sockets of the door of the turbulence of the congregation, and brazen altar, and the brazen grate for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, the sockets of the court gate, and all the pins of the turbulence, and all the pins of the court round about. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made clothes of service to do service in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord commanded Moses. He made the apostle of gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine twine line. They did beat the gold into the pallets, and cut it into the wires to work it in the blue and the purple and the scarlet and the fine line with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it to couple it together by the two edges, was it coupled together, and the carrier's girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same according to the work. Thereof gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twine line, as the Lord commanded Moses. They wrote ox stones enclosed inches of the gold images, signets, or graven with the names of the children of Israel. He put them on the shoulders of the Azrael, and that they shall be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. He made the beast pallet of cunning work, like the work of the oxbow, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, fine twine line. It was foursquare. They made the breastplate. Double span was the length thereof, a span breadth, therefore being doubled. They set in it 4 rounds of stone. The first row was a sardis, and a tapo, and a carbonote. This was the first row. The second row in Hebrew, and a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row Alexandra, and altagoat, and almastic. And the fourth row a beryl, an ox, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ounces of gold, and their enclosings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engraving of a signet, everyone with his name according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the ends of written work of pure gold. And they made 2 ounces of gold, and 2 gold rings, and put 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. They put the 2 main chains of gold and the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate, and the 2 ends of the 2 weathered chains they fastened in 2 inches and put them on the shoulder pieces of the upper and before it. They made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, upon the border of it, and which was on the side of the upper and. They made 2 other golden rings and put them on 2 sides of the apron underneath, towards the forepart of it against the other commander above the colorization glitter of the eastpole. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings into the rings of the eastpole with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious glitter of the east post, and that the breastplate might not be loosened from the east post. And the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the rope of the east post wooden work of all blue. There was an hole in the midst of the rope, and all the whole of an halberd drawn with a band rolled about the hole, that it should not rend. They made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates in blue and purple and scarlet entwined line. They made bells of pure gold and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe and rolled about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate and a bell and a pomegranate round about the hand of the rope to minister, and as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made coasts of fine line and woolen work for Aaron his son, and mercury fine line of godly bonnets of fine line, and line beaches of fine twine line, and a girdle of fine twine line, blue and purple and scarlet of needlework. That the Lord commanded Moses. They made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing like to the engraving of a signet, Holiness to the Lord. And they tied it a lace of blue to fasten it on high mount upon the notcher, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the turbans of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the turbans unto Moses, the tent and all his furnish, and tactics and his pillows and his boards, and his pillars and his sockets, the carving of rams and skins, dyed red, and the carving of badger skins, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony, and the seeds thereof, and the mercy seat, and the table, and all the vessels thereof, and the shewbread, and the pure candlestick, with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, the golden altar, and the anointing oil, the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his gate of brass, establishing all his vessels, and the leaven of his foot, the hanging of the court, and his pillar of his sockets, and the hanging of the gate, and his cords and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of the congregation, and the clothes of the service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garment. Dang, I didn't mean to do that. The holy garments for Aaron, the priests and his sons' garments, and to minister in the priest's office according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord had commanded, even as so had they done it, and Moses blessed them. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, On the first day, the first month, shalt thou set up the tabernacle of the tent